Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is Karma Speaks back with another video. This is going to be a pretty short one. I'm going to try to keep it short. I already recorded it. I'm going to re-record it just because I want to be more clear and concise for you guys. I know I yap a lot. Anyways, I want to start off by telling you a little story, something that happened 2 days ago. So as you know, I'm a photographer, so I was shooting an event. It was a mastermind for real estate professionals. So that includes real estate agents and mortgage people. And so I utilized that time there to ask my questions that, I needed to know that I can't get from ChatGPT, because ChatGPT gives you stats, but it doesn't give you a human experience, right? So I went up to this mortgage professional that I knew I had met before, and I just asked him, what does he see on a day-to-day basis, and what do the numbers really look like? What does it take to actually get a home, right? What does he see? And so he sat there and he was like, that's a good question. And so he showed me a scenario. He showed me a 50-year-old woman who was looking at a townhouse that was about $370,000 or so. And she couldn't qualify it just based off of regular FHA, whatever, right? But he said that she was able to qualify based on the fact that she was bringing $150,000 to the table, and she was getting qualified with her mother, meaning she had to put her mother's income on her, whatever, her statements, to qualify to purchase the home. And her income alone was $60K. Her income plus with her mother's income was $80K in total. Her mother's old, 80 or something, so Social Security. And so when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? To get a less than $400,000 house, you have to save up 150 grand and make 80K a year? That's insane. Not everybody's able to save 150K a year. I know I'm in a blessed situation where it's like I get to be at home and my overhead is very low, so I could save it in a couple years. But people that don't have that situation or are afforded that privilege, how are they supposed to save 150 grand and then simultaneously find a job that makes that much money, 80 grand, 90 grand, 100 grand? I mean, when you look online, if you ask ChatGPT what is the median salary, it's going to tell you less than 60K. Still, it's going to tell you less than 60K. Maybe in a place like New York, median might be 75K or so. But people aren't making that much money. Household may be 125, which can get you something, but you have to make that 125, pay your current bills while simultaneously saving $150,000 to $200,000 to buy a house, down payment, just to qualify, mind you that. And so when I was speaking to this individual, he gave me that scenario. And so I went ahead and asked further questions like, how often or how much do you see people bringing a large sum of money to the closing table to as a down payment? And he said, a lot more in recent times, right? Life is so expensive now, right? Especially in a place like here in Long Island, New York. Median home price is $850,000 in Nassau County and $700,000 in Suffolk County, right? $850K to purchase a home, median, which is dead in the middle. So I was asking him how often is he seeing people bring this amount of money? He was like, very often. He said people are bringing $150,000 to $250,000 to purchase a home. People are saving $250,000 to purchase a home. I don't know about you, but that sounds so crazy to me. And not only that, nearly all the people are using 2 incomes or more to qualify for that home. Meaning, if you think you're gonna be a masculine traditional man who's just gonna make money and have his lady be a stay-at-home wife, she's gonna have to wait until you guys purchase that home, because you can't qualify for that home based off your one income. It could be 125K and it still won't be enough. You need to make 175 for it to finally be enough for you to qualify. He said 150 is stretching it. You really want to be closer to 200K a year to qualify to purchase median home price, 850K or more. And so I'm sharing this with you guys because obviously this is a finance and business channel. It's nothing more than that. I just want to talk about finances and business. That's like what this is about. It's about finance and business. And I'm not trying to be entertaining. I just want to talk to you about my personal experiences with money and, you know, financial transparency, because one thing that my mom has always said to me is she always bigs up herself about giving me and my older brother perspective, right? No matter if we were in the very poor situations where, you know, you got all the bugs crawling on you and you're in the hood and all this other stuff, and then also being amongst rich, privileged kids in school, whatever, she always would just say, that's one thing that I want to say she never regretted. That's kind of like what she would say, is like, you know, I never regretted financially, was giving you guys perspective, because I have the perspective to see, okay, how do these rich people that have a lot of money think, live? What do they have? Where do they invest? What do they do? And then how do the poor people think? Where do they live? How do they think? What do they do? Right? And I have that perspective. I can see both sides. And so the reason why I'm so transparent is because you have no idea what direction to go in if you have no perspective. You don't know how to make any choices if you have no perspective. If you don't even have the perspective to know that rich people invest in real estate to depreciate their asset and have that asset grow over time, whatever, you wouldn't even know that it's an option, or that it's a viable, like a good option to like consider. Same thing for becoming a doctor. Some people, if you didn't have the foresight or the perspective that it takes 12 to 15 years to become a doctor, then you don't even know that that might actually sway your life decisions, right? Are you gonna stay the course? Is it a waste of your time? Are you gonna have to postpone the rest of your life, like having kids and whatever else, because you have to finish school first? That's what perspective is. So that's why I like communicating with you guys and talking about finances transparently, right? Continuing on, I then asked him, how many people do you see getting help to purchase like their home? And he said a lot of people, which means parents dipping into their 401ks, people, you know, cashing out on retirement accounts that they've been contributing to, people having to move away, and then him also having to just let people know, hey, look, you can't get a home. You can't get a home here. You'll have to move to get something, or you're gonna have to keep renting, but you can't purchase a home here. And he actually looked distraught about it, you know, because a lot of like, you know, real estate professionals, they can be a little bit grimy and slimy, and they're really just looking for the commission. But this kid, he actually seemed like kind of distraught about it. He was like, it's sad trying to make all the numbers work and trying to make it all fit together, but you just can't. You just can't, because things are so expensive. And I initially wanted to film this video because I'm so focused on making this money, saving 100 grand and being rich one day. And some people just don't get it, right? Some people are just like, oh, money isn't everything, which it isn't everything. It's not everything. But if you want to get just shit, pardon my tongue, you need it. Because obviously you're not getting a house if you don't have money. You're not getting a house if you don't have money. You're not getting a car if you don't have money. You're not having kids, or you're not being like, you can't put your kids through college. You can't do much if you don't have money. It's not happiness, right? Money doesn't lead to happiness, but it sure as hell does help. It sure as hell relieves the stress. If you're sitting on 50 grand versus sitting on $50, who do you think is going to be more stressed about their bills? Objectively, right? The person with $50 is probably going to be more stressed about their bills. So you don't have to be as obsessed about money as I do or nothing. But this is the time to do it. If you're in your early 20s like me, this is the time to get it, because it's only going to get more expensive. Real estate is only going to appreciate. Cars are only going to get more expensive. It's only going to go up. It doesn't go down. It's always going to go up. So now's the time to work, get your money, save your money, make it happen. Not to have fun. I mean, you can have fun, but like, this is the time to make it happen, because shit is really expensive. And if you want to actually own something, have stuff for yourself, you need money. You can't do it broke, right? Or else you're going to get left behind. You're going to get left behind by people like me that are going to go get it. And you don't want to be left behind. I don't want to see anybody get left behind, right? I mean, I don't mind, because it's like more room for me to grow. But realistically, you'll get left behind if you're not putting your head down and working and saving your chicken, investing it, doing stuff with it, deploying your money responsibly and with a growth mindset. Because it's a scary future that we're looking at. I heard those numbers and I was afraid. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to get out of here. And unless I get super rich, which I probably will be. But if not, God forbid, I'm going to have to go to a whole nother state. Maybe I find a $400,000 house there. And then I might be able to qualify with a $100,000 income. But who knows? Appreciate anybody that watched this. I won't keep you guys too long. Peace.